There are 5 luxury SUVs sitting on used car lots right now that have lost so much value the original owners would cry if they checked the resale numbers. We are talking about vehicles that cost $55,000, $70,000, even $90,000 brand new that you can now pick up for the price of a loaded Camry. And here is the part nobody is telling you. These are not broken down money pits waiting to drain your bank account. These are some of the most mechanically overbuilt SUVs ever made, hiding under badges that the used car market has decided to punish for no good reason. After 22 years of turning wrenches, I have watched people blow $35,000 on a 3-year-old RAV4 while these luxury tanks sit there collecting dust at half the price with twice the features. Every single one of these SUVs will run 250,000 to 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. And number 1 on this list, that one shares its guts with a vehicle that has been used by militaries around the world. I am dead serious. Today I am counting down my 5 most underrated luxury SUVs on the used market in 2026. The ones that give you Range Rover presence and Toyota reliability at Honda Civic money. I am going deepest on number 1 because that is the SUV that will completely change the way you shop. Let's get into it. Number 5. The Volvo XC90, 2019 and newer. Number 5 is a 3-row luxury SUV that was designed by the same people who engineer fighter jet ejection seats, and you can buy one right now for under $25,000. Let that sink in. A vehicle that the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety gave a Top Safety Pick Plus award to year after year after year is now sitting on dealer lots being treated like yesterday's news. I had a customer come in about 6 months ago, a young couple, first baby on the way, terrified about safety. They were looking at a new Subaru Outback for around $38,000. I asked them one question: would you rather have a brand new Subaru or a Volvo that was literally engineered to be the safest SUV on the planet for $13,000 less? They looked at me like I was running a scam. I pulled up a 2020 XC90 T6 Momentum with 62,000 miles for $24,800. All-wheel drive, 3 rows, panoramic sunroof, a 316 horsepower, turbocharged and supercharged engine, semi-autonomous driving assist, and a safety suite that makes most new cars look like they are from 2010. They bought it. That was 6 months and 14,000 miles ago. Total repairs so far, 0. Here is what you need to know. The second generation XC90 that started in 2016 was a game changer for Volvo, but the early models from 2016 to 2018 had some growing pains. Oil consumption issues with the T6 engine, infotainment bugs with the Sensus system, and some air suspension quirks. By 2019, Volvo had sorted almost all of it out. The piston ring issues were addressed, the software was stabilized, and the overall build quality tightened up significantly. The B6 mild hybrid powertrain in the 2021 and newer models added regenerative braking and even better fuel efficiency. But the sweet spot for value right now is the 2019 to 2021 T6. You are getting a luxury SUV that's stickered for $55,000 to $65,000 for roughly $22,000 to $28,000. That is 55 to 60% depreciation. For context, a same-year Lexus RX with fewer features and 2 fewer seats holds about 15 to 20% more of its value. When shopping for one of these, stick with the T6 over the T5 for the power you need to move this big SUV confidently. Check for service records showing regular oil changes because the twin-charged engine rewards owners who follow the maintenance schedule. Test the air suspension if it is equipped by cycling through the ride height modes in a parking lot. Any hesitation or sagging on one corner, walk away. Check the sunroof drains. Clogged sunroof drains are the #1 sneaky issue on these, and they can cause water to pool on the floorboards and create electrical gremlins. A $50 preventive clean saves you thousands of dollars. Bottom line on the XC90, you are getting Scandinavian luxury, world-class safety, and a 3-row interior that feels like a first-class lounge for the price of a Kia Sportage. The only reason these are cheap is because Volvo does not have the resale cachet of Lexus. And honestly, that is your gain. Number 4. The BMW X5 xDrive 35i and xDrive 40i, 2014 to 2020. I know what you are thinking. A BMW on a list about reliability? Hear me out, because this is not just any BMW, and this is not just any engine. The X5 with the inline-6 is a completely different animal than the X5 with the V8, and most people do not know the difference. That ignorance is costing smart buyers thousands in savings. The F15 generation X5 from 2014 to 2018 and the G05 from 2019 onward both offered a turbocharged inline 6-cylinder engine. The 2014 to 2017 models got the N55, and the 2018 and newer models got the B58. Both of these engines are legitimately among the best 6-cylinder engines ever built by anyone, not just BMW, anyone. The B58 in particular has earned a reputation in the mechanic community as BMW's most reliable modern engine. It uses a closed deck block, a twin-scroll turbo, and a timing chain designed to last the life of the engine. I have personally seen N55-powered X5s roll past 200,000 miles with nothing but oil changes, filters, and a water pump around 120,000 miles. Here is where the value part gets insane. A 2017 BMW X5 xDrive 35i with 80,000 miles is currently selling for $18,000 to $23,000. This is a vehicle that's stickered at $62,000 to $75,000 depending on options. That is roughly 70% depreciation. You are buying $70,000 worth of German engineering for Hyundai Tucson money. A same-year Mercedes GLE 350 with comparable miles runs about $22,000 to $27,000, and I promise you it will cost more to maintain over time. The most expensive repair I have done on an N55 X5 was a water pump and thermostat at 115,000 miles, $780 total for parts and labor. On a same mileage Range Rover Sport, that repair is $1,600 minimum, and that is if nothing else decides to go wrong while you are in there, which it usually does. Here is the critical part. You must avoid the V8. The N63 V8 in the X5 50i and in the xDrive 50i is a different story entirely. That engine is known for valve stem seal issues, oil leaks, and cooling system failures that can run $3,000 to $5,000. The inline 6 does not have these problems. The inline 6 is the one the engineers drive home. When inspecting a used X5 with the inline 6, check 3 things. First, pull the oil cap and look for milky residue. Any sign of coolant mixing with oil means head gasket issues. Walk away immediately. Second, Check the valve cover for oil seepage. Some N55 models develop a slow valve cover gasket leak around 90,000 miles. It is a $350 fix, not a deal breaker, but worth negotiating on. Third, test the electronic parking brake and the iDrive system thoroughly. Electrical gremlins in the infotainment are annoying, but cheap to address. Mechanical problems with the drivetrain are rare. Who should buy this? Anyone who wants a luxury SUV that actually handles like a sports sedan. The X5 is genuinely fun to drive in a way that no Toyota or Lexus can match. If you are keeping it past 150,000 miles, budget about $1,000 a year for maintenance. That is more than a Toyota, but a fraction of what most people assume a BMW costs. And you are driving a vehicle that feels like it costs 3 times what you paid for it. Number 3. The Infiniti QX80, 2015 to 2023. Number 3 is a full-size, body-on-frame, V8-powered luxury SUV that weighs almost 3 tons, tows 8,500 pounds, seats 8 people in leather-heated seats, and currently costs less than a new Honda CR-V. This is the vehicle that proves the used car market is broken. The second-generation QX80, which ran from 2011 to 2024, is built on the same platform as the Nissan Patrol, one of the most trusted heavy-duty SUVs on the planet. The Patrol is used in the Middle East, Africa, and Australia in conditions that would destroy most vehicles within a year. Same bones, same DNA. But slap an Infiniti badge on it, sell it in America, and suddenly nobody wants it after 3 years. Let me talk about the engine, because this is the key to the whole thing. The VK56VD, 5.6-liter V8 with direct injection and Nissan VVEL variable valve timing produces 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. This is not some overworked, overstressed engine gasping to move a heavy SUV. It is a naturally breathing, unstressed V8 that loafs along at highway speeds. I have worked on these engines past 250,000 miles with 0 internal issues. No timing chain stretching, no valve problems, no catastrophic failures. The 7-speed automatic transmission paired with it is equally proven. Pricing right now will make your jaw drop. A 2018 QX80 with 75,000 miles is going for $25,000 to $30,000. The same year, Cadillac Escalade with comparable miles runs $38,000 to $45,000. The Lincoln Navigator is $35,000 to $42,000. You are saving $10,000 to $15,000 for a vehicle that is arguably more mechanically reliable than both. And the Infiniti had a starting manufacturer suggested retail price north of $65,000. The QX80 loses 54% of its value in 5 years. That is brutal for the first owner and a gold mine for the second. Car Edge data confirms the QX80 is one of the fastest depreciating luxury SUVs on the market, and the annual maintenance cost averages about $823 through the first 5 years, which is lower than the Escalade and significantly lower than the Navigator. Here is my inspection checklist for the QX80. First, check all 8 seats. These are family haulers, and the interiors take a beating. Look for cracked leather on the second row armrests, and check that every seat heater and every power adjustment works. Second, test the four-wheel drive system. Engage low range in a parking lot and listen for any grinding or hesitation. The transfer case is robust, but neglected fluid changes can cause issues after 100,000 miles. Third, look underneath for any signs of rust on the frame, especially if the vehicle came from the Northeast. Body-on-frame SUVs from salt states need extra scrutiny. Fourth, check the brake rotors. The QX80 is heavy and eats front brakes. If the rotors are scored or warped, negotiate $600 off the price for a full brake job. Who should buy the QX80? Anyone who needs to tow a boat, haul the entire family, and still arrive looking like they spent six figures. Anyone who wants a V8 that will outlast their mortgage. Anyone smart enough to realize that Infiniti's brand perception problem is the buyer's best friend. Number 2, the Acura MDX, 2018 to 2020 and 2022 and newer. Number 2 is the SUV that Honda engineers built when they were told to make a Lexus killer, and then Acura's marketing department forgot to tell anyone about it. The MDX has been the best-selling three-row luxury SUV in America for years, and yet on the used market, it depreciates like it is invisible. That disconnect between reputation and resale value is one of the biggest opportunities in the entire used car market. Let me tell you about a customer I had last spring. A guy in his 50s, recently divorced, needed a reliable three-row for weekends with his kids. He was set on a 2019 Lexus RX 350L for $30,000. I pointed out two things. First, the RX 350L third row is basically a suggestion. It is not a real seat for anyone over the age of 8. Second, I showed him a 2019 Acura MDX SHAWD with the technology package. 54,000 miles, full service history, $21,500. He saved $8,500 and got a usable third row, Honda's legendary super handling all-wheel drive, and a 3.5-liter V6 that shares its engineering DNA with the Honda Pilot, one of the most reliable SUVs ever made. The J35 series V6 in the MDX is naturally aspirated, uses a timing chain, and has been refined over 2 decades of production. It does not have turbo failures because there is no turbo. It does not have direct injection carbon buildup issues because the 2018 to 2020 models use port injection. It just runs. The third generation MDX from 2014 to 2020 got a 9-speed automatic starting in 2016, and while the early calibrations in 2016 were a bit jerky, by 2018 Acura had smoothed it out completely through software updates and hardware revisions. RepairPal gives the MDX a 4.0 out of 5.0 reliability rating and an average annual maintenance cost of about $571. That is cheaper than almost every luxury SUV competitor and right in line with mainstream brands. The probability of a major repair is low and parts are Honda priced, not luxury priced. That is the secret weapon of the entire Acura brand. You are paying for Honda parts with a nicer interior. The current generation MDX that launched in 2022 is even better. The 3.5-liter V6 carries over with a new 10-speed automatic that is smoother and more efficient than the old 9-speed. The interior was completely redesigned and genuinely competes with anything from BMW or Mercedes in terms of materials and layout. A 2022 MDX with 50,000 miles is running $28,000 to $33,000 right now. That same vehicle stickered for $50,000 to $58,000 new. You are looking at 40 to 45% depreciation on a vehicle that is barely broken in. For the best value right now, I recommend the 2018 or 2019 MDX with the technology package. You get navigation, a premium audio system, heated seats, the Acura Watch Safety Suite, and all-wheel drive for $18,000 to $22,000. Compare that to a 2018 BMW X3 at $22,000 to $26,000, or a 2018 Audi Q7 at $24,000 to $29,000, and the MDX looks like a clerical error. Except the MDX will cost you half as much in maintenance over the next 5 years. When inspecting one, test the acceleration from a stop. The 9-speed in early models could hesitate between first and second gear. If it feels smooth, you are good. Check the transmission fluid condition on any MDX over 60,000 miles. Honda drivetrains are bulletproof when the fluid is maintained and problematic when it is not. And look at the paint on the roof and hood edges. Some MDX models from 2015 to 2017 had minor clear coat issues in hot climates. The 2018 and newer models are fine. Bottom line, the Acura MDX gives you 95% of the Lexus RX ownership experience at 65% of the price, with a usable third row that the Lexus cannot match. If Honda reliability in a luxury wrapper at a bargain price sounds too good to be true, go drive one. You will understand in about 3 minutes. Number 1. The Lexus GX 460, 2014 to 2023. Number 1 is the SUV. I have been quietly recommending to everyone who asks me what to buy if they want one vehicle to last the next 15 years and never worry about it. Almost everyone pushes back at first because of one thing. They look at the infotainment screen and say, it looks like it is from 2012. I tell them, good. That means there is less to break. Let me tell you the story that made me a GX 460 evangelist. 4 years ago, a retired firefighter came into my shop. He had just bought a 2015 GX 460 with 135,000 miles on it for $24,000. His neighbor told him he was insane for buying a luxury SUV with that many miles. He wanted me to do a full inspection and tell him everything that was wrong with it. I spent 2 hours underneath that vehicle. I checked the frame, the suspension, the drivetrain, the brakes, the fluids, every bushing, every seal. You know what I found? The front brake pads were at about 40%. That was it. At 135,000 miles, the only thing that SUV needed was brake pads. He is at 212,000 miles now. He has spent $2,800 total on maintenance in 4 years. He told me the vehicle was going to outlive him. Here is why the GX 460 is the number 1 pick on this list, and it is not even close. The GX 460 is built on the same platform as the Toyota 4Runner and the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. 8 organizations, militaries, and outback operators use that platform in the most unforgiving environments on Earth. Same body-on-frame construction, same bulletproof engineering philosophy. The 4.6-liter 1URF EV8 under the hood is part of Toyota's legendary UR engine family. It is naturally aspirated, it uses a timing chain, and it has dual VVT variable valve timing. There is no turbo, there is no supercharger, there is no direct injection to cause carbon buildup. It is as mechanically simple as a modern V8 can be, and it is designed to run for 300,000 miles without breaking a sweat. I am not exaggerating. I have personally serviced GX 460s north of 280,000 miles with original engines and original transmissions still running perfectly. The 6-speed automatic transmission in the GX 460 is a Toyota Aisin unit that has been used across the Toyota and Lexus lineup for over a decade. It shifts smoothly, it handles towing, and it lasts. The full-time 4-wheel drive system includes a torsion-limited slip center differential and a 2-speed transfer case with low range. This is real off-road hardware, not a glorified all-wheel drive system that only works on wet pavement. Now let us talk about pricing, because this is where the goldmine part comes in. A 2017 GX 460 Premium with 80,000 miles is selling right now for $28,000 to $33,000. That sounds like a lot until you compare it to what it actually is. This is a body-on-frame, V8 powered, full-time four-wheel drive Lexus with a locking center differential. The closest comparison in capability is a Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro, which with similar miles sells for $38,000 to $44,000, or a Land Cruiser, which you cannot touch for under $50,000 regardless of mileage. You are getting Land Cruiser DNA at 4Runner money with a Lexus interior. And here is the detail that separates the GEX from everything else on this list. Resale. While the GX 460 has depreciated from its original sticker price, it holds its value better on the back end than almost any luxury SUV in existence. That means you buy one for $28,000 today, drive it for 5 years and 75,000 miles, and sell it for $18,000 to $20,000. Your total cost of ownership per mile is lower than a Honda CR-V on a luxury SUV with a V8. My inspection checklist for the GX 460 is short because there is not much that goes wrong. First, check the frame for any signs of rust, particularly on vehicles from northern states. Toyota's frame coating on the GX is good, but salt is salt. Second, test the KDSS system if equipped. The kinetic dynamic suspension system uses hydraulic stabilizer bars that improve both on-road handling and off-road articulation. Drive over a speed bump slowly and make sure the suspension responds evenly on both sides. Third, look at the dashboard on 2014 to 2016 models. Some of these developed dashboard cracking in hot climates. Toyota extended the warranty on this issue, so check whether it was addressed. Fourth, check the tire wear. The GX runs full-time four-wheel drive, and uneven tire wear means alignment was neglected. This is not a mechanical concern, but it tells you how the owner treated the vehicle. Who should buy the GX 460? Highway commuters who want something that will cruise at 80 miles per hour in complete silence. Families who want 3 rows and real capability. Weekend adventurers who want a vehicle that can go from the office to the trail without blinking. Anyone who wants to buy one SUV and never think about buying another one for 15 years. And anyone who is smart enough to value mechanical perfection over a fancy touchscreen. Who should skip it? If fuel economy is your top priority, the GX gets about 15 miles per gallon in the city and 20 miles per gallon on the highway. It requires premium gasoline. That is the trade-off for a V8 that will not quit. If you want a sporty driving feel, this is a body-on-frame truck, and it drives like one. Comfortable and composed, but not nimble. And if you need maximum cargo space, the GX is smaller inside than competitors like the Highlander despite its rugged capability. Here is my final take. If I could only buy one SUV to drive for the rest of my life, I would buy a Lexus GX 460 and not think twice. It is the closest thing to a forever vehicle that exists in the luxury SUV market. Every mechanic I know agrees. Most of them already own one. So there it is. 5 luxury SUVs the market forgot, but mechanics did not. The Volvo XC90 with world-class safety at Kia money. The BMW X5 with the inline-6 that rewrites everything you think you know about German reliability. The Infiniti QX80 with its Nissan Patrol bones, and a V8 that will outlast civilization. The Acura MDX, hiding Honda's best engineering under a luxury badge nobody respects enough. And the Lexus GX 460, the closest thing to a bulletproof, forever vehicle you can buy. You now know 5 luxury SUVs you can buy for the price of a loaded Camry that will outlast vehicles costing twice as much. Next time, a dealer tries to push you into a 3-year-old lease return with a German badge and a maintenance schedule that reads like a mortgage payment, you will know better. If this kind of straight talk is helping you, hit subscribe. I have more videos coming on the SUVs mechanics actually buy versus the ones they tell their customers to avoid. Like if it helped. Subscribe for more. I will keep giving you the truth. The dealerships will not. Drive safe. Take care of your car, and it will take care of you. Take it or leave it. I will see you in the next one.